Welcome to Elemental Fun, a historical and cultural look of the elements of the periodic table. Hello, and welcome to Elemental Fun. My name is Grace.
My name is Cindy.
And we have a special guest with us today. His name is Charlie.
He's super cute.
He is 1 month old, and I made him, so.
He came out of her belly.
Well, not really.
Not exactly that
This
way.
isn't a biology.
Came from your belly.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Uterus.
Yeah. In
Cozy
that
home.
region. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's sleeping though. But if you hear a squawk or a wailing sound before we take a break.
That is either Charlie or my cat.
Oh.
So it could be either one. But most likely Charlie.
Yeah.
I think the cat left. The dog is just sleeping now.
Yeah. Okay.
They finally learned to play.
So, we are today going to be talking about platinum. Did I say that right? It sounded really weird in my
Well,
head.
because you put emphasis the platinum versus just platinum. Don't.
I'm trying to make it fancy.
Platinum.
This podcast is brought to you today by caffeine because
That's what you live on now.
I don't function. New baby means no sleep. I do have
Who needs sleep? Everybody.
everyone.
It's actually a very important biological function.
I do. Can I take your sleep? You have too much? Oh, well,
I'm sorry.
what a terrible problem.
I used to do that with Benjamin all the time. Like when you didn't want to take a nap, I'm like, do you know how much I would love to take a nap? Why are you fighting this? What's wrong with you?
Oh, yeah. No, Greta doesn't want to do family naps. I'm like, come on, it'd be fun.
We can all just sleep.
You, me, Charlie.
Benjamin will take that for about like a minute, and then he'll be like, yeah, let's do that. And then we lay down, and he's like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, and then they're wrestling in the bed, and
Right.
you're like, don't kick the baby.
No, stop it.
So, I have a quick little update from my dad.
Mm-hmm.
So he came up
Shout
to
out to
me.
your dad.
Hey. He's like, Grace, I'm feeling haunted. I'm like, what? And he's like,
Haunted?
I can't get it out of my mind. Fatbergs.
It is kind of disturbing.
It is. But then I don't know where he started learning more about fatbergs. And he had like all these facts about fatbergs. And I was like, did the haunting become your obsession? I don't know. But he told me that someone in London poured, get this, dry cement
Okay.
down the drain.
Well, that sounds like a great idea.
So then
Do they know that when you add
water.
water, it turns into cement?
The workers had to go down with jackhammers to break it up. I'm like, people of England.
What
are
was he
you-
trying to do with the dry cement?
Get rid of
Get
it?
rid of it?
I guess.
Oh, you know what would be even more amazing if he put dry cement in his toilet?
Why didn't he do it?
Because that would have been, if you're going to do something fun, just go all out and just do it.
I don't know what drain he put it down.
Maybe he has like a sink, sometimes you have a sink in your garage to,
Or maybe he put it like out like in the
oh, in the gutter?
in a gutter or
Oh.
something. I'm not
That'd
sure
be
where he put it.
interesting. Yeah.
But gosh.
I wonder if it was the fast, because you can get cement that's like fast, like quick drying.
I don't think it was quick drying because if they had to
Okay.
go down in the sewers to
To get
jackhammer it
down there.
up.
So probably it's settled and then
Yeah.
solidified.
Oh man. That's not a fatberg, that's a stoneberg.
Which is it could be two different types of Stoneberg. Stoned.
Oh, that's stoned.
Stoneberg and then
versus
Stoneberg. Got it.
Oh. Anyways,
Interesting.
back to platinum.
Well, thanks, Dad, for that. That
Yeah.
was interesting.
I was like, little nugget.
Little nugget of fun.
Little nugget
Surprised
of
that
fat.
person wasn't from Florida.
You know, if Florida had the septic system that London had, you would bet your bottom dollar that it would
That's
be.
some pretty interesting stuff in there.
I mean, they have enough stories coming out of Florida.
They do. It's a special, special place.
The gators wouldn't be able to live in the sewer there, though, because they'd get stuck in the fatbergs. Mutant gators.
Oh. And then you'd have to put concrete
No,
on
they'd
it to
just be
solidify
like
them.
dead jelloed. Stuck in there like.
I can't move.
I know. Help.
I'm just a poor
My
alligator.
little arms can't get out.
It's like the Little dinosaurs, yeah. I don't think I thought a cunning plan all the way through. I can't hit the buttons with my tiny arms. Toy Story, which is coming out with a new one soon.
Yes, it is.
Excited. Okay, but back to platinum.
So platinum
Or platinum.
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 Mm.
Actually, it comes from the word platina, which means
Mhm.
it's Spanish for little silver.
Yep.
So the funny thing about platinum is it was discovered. I'm putting air quotes. You can't see them. Discovered
Yep.
in 1735.
But it was it was known to South America before Columbus.
They
was even
actually
there,
were
yeah.
able to mold it, melt it down, and cast it. And scientists don't really know how they were able to do that in South America because platinum's melting point is like redonkulous.
super high.
So, yeah, they knew about it, and actually, it was used in ancient Egypt. It was imported gold and platinum together from the kingdom of Nebia, and the daughter of King Thebes was buried in a sarcophagus with gold and platinum hieroglyphs on it.
Yeah, and it was like 7th century BC was the oldest worked specimen that they have found.
That's what I saw.
Mhm.
So basically, but no, not 1735. It was 1557. There was an Italian doctor. He described a metal
Julius
found,
Scaliger.
and
He wrote about it.
Yes, he
Yeah.
found in South America there was a metal that would not melt, and it was platinum.
What is it?
But what's also funny is they thought it was just like underdeveloped gold.
Right, and
they
it's
would
as
mine it.
resistant to corrosion as gold.
Yes.
So it's similar,
And so
a noble metal, as they like to call them.
And so they, I thought it was funny that they would they found old mining, like where they sifted through the water, and they just threw the platinum back in the water because they're like, it's not gold yet.
This is crap.
And so little silver, because it wasn't as shiny as silver, it's kind of dull, and
Yeah.
it wasn't quite gold, but they thought maybe this will turn into gold if we just let it sit in the water a little. Not mature. yet. It needs to mature into gold. But
Yeah, they use. It says I have that in South America they have seen it in burial goods as worked platinum, like close to 2,000, for 2,000 years. So it's been worked for a while without before understanding what it was. In 1735, the Spanish Antonio Ula
yeah.
was commissioned by the Royal. Oh, he was a captain in the Royal Navy, and he ended up in London instead of Europe. And there he was looking at it, and he looked into it, and then
The
by
Royal
17
Society.
yeah, the Royal Society looked into it, and then by the 1750s, Europe was discussing what it was, and I think Columbus took some to Europe around 1750 as well. So that's when it really started trying to figure out what it is.
And an interesting cultural note with that, because then again, our famous father of chemistry, my notes. Where are you? What was his
I don't know.
name? And you talk
Which
for
one?
a second.
Oh well, so it took them a while. They were. Like I say, they've been known that it's been worked, and they've known of it, but being able to figure out what exactly it was harder. There's a lot of so it's mainly one of the big things is jewelry.
Yeah.
That it's used in, right? Platinum jewelry is it kind of once we figured out what it was, it kind of goes, oh, it's because platinum's better than gold, and in some cultural. Some people believe.
Basically, gold was gold, and then when gold started to become more common, they had to think of something else that was better than gold. So they went, what's better than gold? Well, it can't be silver, because silver's second to gold. And they're like, platinum, which really gained its, popularity in the early 1900s. But I found my note.
Okay.
So I didn't think about this, but our father of chemistry, Lavoisier. Lavoisier?
Sounds sure.
We've talked about him before.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
he named oxygen. He
things,
named a
right.
lot of them, a lot of the elements. He was sent a sample of it in 1792. He was working with it. They're trying to make a pewter that was heat resistant enough to melt platinum. And so he was helping out with that. But what I didn't think about is in the 1790s was the French Revolution.
Oh.
And so here was this French scientist who was also an aristocrat. And he was working with all these, he was a big part of chemistry. And he actually he died at the guillotine
Ooh.
in 1794. And part of that, he was considered a traitor.
Huh.
And that was because although he was an aristocrat and he felt the revolutionists and their cause and he agreed with them, but like he didn't want them to destroy all the science and all the
Which they tend to do in
valuable
wars and things. Yeah.
Anytime there's
unfortunately.
a revolution, they're
Yep.
just like burn everything.
Burn everything. Let's start anew.
Yeah, and he's like, no, like don't kill the scientists, don't destroy the documentation and all of the stuff we're working for. And so he was really trying to push that. He was considered a traitor. He didn't flee Paris like all the other aristocrats did in time. He was chopped at the guillotine. I didn't even think about that. You know, we're throwing all these dates out and we're throwing all this like science out, but you know,
There's a lot going around in the world at those times.
and he was a Frenchman. It was the French Revolution, and he was killed at the guillotine.
Oh, it's terrible. Well, and then to that choice to be, I mean, it was great that he wanted to stand up for science and that, but then we lost a good scientist because of it,
Yeah.
right?
Also, King Louis the 16th thought that the platinum was only fit for kings, so you know it didn't help that he was working with a metal that the king didn't believe commoners should have any.
Right.
You
should
know.
not be able to do that. Touch it.
Yeah.
It is mine.
So
Yeah.
a little nugget of
Interesting.
stuff for
That's
you.
pretty cool. Well, so just some about its uses. So obviously jewelry is one of the big ones, right? You get platinum. Usually it's platinum coated. It's not usually fully platinum in general. But
well with
about
others.
50% of what it's used for actually is catalytic converters in cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
that's
got-
like most of that.
Well, again, the whole platinum group.
Right, it was that catalyst, right?
Yeah.
We talked about that before with the other guys. So that they as good catalysts produce improve the efficiency of fuel cells. They use it in electronics, computer hard disks, and thermocouples. Again, because you want that really high resistance of heat to be able to metals that can take a high level of heat without melting.
Yeah.
They use it in optical fibers, LCDs, turbine blades, spark plugs, pacemakers, dental fillings, pacemakers. Oh, I have pacemakers twice. They really like pacemakers.
Pacemakers again.
Magnets. What's really interesting is
Magnets.
platinum compounds are important in chemotherapy drugs.
Yes.
And almost 50% of the chemotherapy drugs out there are platinum based. And what's really cool is that some new research has been coming out on that. Is that they're looking at platinum drugs with a platinum delivery system. So,
I just see like a little platinum thing being like, choo
hello, would you like a? This is your delivery
Order
package.
up.
Beep. So what it's this new nanotechnology that's being really looked into for enabling the cancer drugs to be sent directly to the cancer cells and
versus
not
the
all
whole body.
the cells.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that is.
It's more isolated.
They're doing nano, and they're also doing laser kind of.
Yeah, some of the
Technology
different
for
ones.
that.
Yeah, some lasers. It's just
Yeah.
there's lots of different avenues where they're trying to get to the point of
Like,
only going to
let's
cancer
not
cells.
Poison
Let's not
the
kill
whole body.
right?
Let's just kill the cancer.
But it's the idea is how do we know how you have to find the markers on the cancer cells that you can then target. And every cancer is slightly different in
Right.
what those are. So we know that for some of them, we don't know it for others. But they call them nano delivery warheads. So they target the cancer cells by IDing the characteristics like the fact that they have their growth patterns are much faster than regular cells. Their need for glucose and folic acid. So because they're just reproducing and growing so much, they need sugars to do that for the energy.
Are they making platinum sugar?
That'd be amazing. It's the bestest of all sugars.
Best.
So they target those cells and what's interesting is that also they remain in the bloodstream for longer, so they have a better distribution and they can delay the release. So there's multiple effects of why platinum seems to be a really good agent in cancer treatment.
Oh.
Which is kind of cool.
Well, I've got a few things about from the actual book.
All right.
I underlined them.
Ooh, periodic
Wah, wah.
tales.
So platinum is also considered the eighth metal. they added in the 18th century with the existing additional like the metals that are existing in nature naturally that they don't have to like separate all the time.
Okay.
Those are gold, silver, copper, tin, lead, mercury, and iron.
Okay.
So let's see. A platinum chalice was presented to the Pope by the King of Spain. It was the first precious object made from a malleable form of metal. So that platinum chalice given to the Pope.
Ooh.
And that was, I don't have the date. Thanks, book. Yeah, jerk.
I know you just talk about chalices. I always think of Indiana Jones
Yes.
and the thing, picking out the right chalice.
Pick the wood one.
Right.
Not
the platinum.
So Spain basically had an age of platinum, and it came to an abrupt end with Napoleon's invasion in 1808.
Napoleon.
That short French jerk. And the rise of the revolutionary independence movement under Simon Bolivar in New Granada. Russian aristocrats did not find that metal enough for their taste, and they actually made a 3 ruble platinum coin to use.
Ooh.
And it took me a long time to figure out how much a 3 ruble platinum coin from 1828 would be worth now. It took a lot of research and a lot of math.
Wow.
And so I may have this right. I may have this wrong. I am rocking
impressed
my
that you
child while talking right now
is pretty
in
impressive.
the car
You can all
seat.
see this.
It's so heavy. My child is giant. He has gained so much. I'm like.
Meanwhile,
breathing
I
heavy.
am just drinking a chai tea.
Yes. Okay. He has calmed back down. So it is. These 3 ruble coins are worth today about $41.55.
Wow.
At first, I was like, a 3 ruble coin? Like, that's not a lot. And then I was like, okay, well, I don't know how much that was. That was in 1828.
Old time ago.
'Cause I was like-
Inflation.
Yeah. So there was that.
Interesting.
In 1898, Louis Cartier decided that
Ooh.
the pocket watch was so old school that he wanted to make one that could go on your wrist.
What?
Yes. So he popularized the wrist-worn timepiece
Oh.
to replace the pocket watch, and he chose platinum as his,
Metal of choice.
cool new metal to put on. So Rolexes a lot of times are like platinum.
Platinum, okay.
So
Interesting.
and then platinum became really popular.
There he is. There's Charlie.
Hi, Charlie. Until the Second World War, when the metal was rationed because of its usefulness as a catalyst in
Right.
important chemical.
Because that one, especially for wars and things like that, if it's industrialized, they're gonna make sure that all of that platinum goes towards being able to do that stuff rather than jewelry and wristwatches.
Right,
and
right.
things.
And cultural.
And cultural significant things, yeah.
But even, John Steinbeck talked about it, called it had a pearly lucience. Lucience?
Luminescence?
No.
Lucience? Or is it? Lucence.
Nuisance. Like a nuisance.
But prettier.
Yeah, so the first part of the 20th century, it was preferred jewelry of metals when they found silver too common.
Right.
And even
it's just silver.
on after the Titanic went down, they wanted that they started wearing jewelry as a memorial for
People that died.
just
just the
for
event?
tragic events.
Oh, okay.
And so they wanted like a black and white, and so they used platinum as the white-ish part of it.
Oh.
And so that became really popular. There was also a movie that came out in 1931, Frank Capra's
Oh, Platinum
film,
Blonde.
Platinum Blonde.
Right.
So we say platinum blonde these days.
Right.
And
For that really, really blonde.
yeah, and so it was originally they wanted to name it Gallagher because Jean Harlow was the lead.
Okay.
She had very white blonde hair.
Right. Platinum blonde.
Platinum blonde.
Right.
And the producer, who was Howard Hughes,
Ooh, that guy.
yes, he had Harlow under personal contract and insisted the change of the title in order to promote his starlet. So they changed it to Platinum Blonde, and that became kind of a thing.
Right.
So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Cool.
Should we talk about its properties a little bit?
Yeah, so
Like
they
how
so
dense
you can find
is?
it. You can find it
Yeah,
in
tell me,
nature.
where can we find
Where
it?
can you find it? Uncombined in nature, so you can just find platinum, like as they did, and throw it back.
Like, you can find it in nuggets.
But they can also found in minerals called copperite, platinum sulfide. The most common form I think that's the most common form. And you can also get you can also pull it out of when they do copper and nickel refining. You can get platinum from that. But the issue with mining it, so platinum is generally non-toxic, but if you inhale or have direct contact with the salts, you can get allergic reactions, damage to your internal organs, and cancer. So interesting. So we can use it to fight cancer, but it's always that balance, right? In a certain
Doesn't
way,
it feel like every chemical is like this? Like
Pretty
you can,
much,
you
yeah.
can use it to battle cancer.
well, I mean, oxygen
get
is really important to us,
cancer.
and if you have too much of it, can kill you.
We
You know,
did talk
so-
about this. Look at our episodes
So
on oxygen.
and water. And water. Same kind of things. That's a compound, not an element. But it is very rare in the Earth's crust. It's only 5 parts per billion, so very rare. But because, as we kind of already talked about, it's soft and malleable, so it's easy to shape. You can stretch it into wire. It's unreactive. It doesn't oxidize. So it's unaffected by common acids. So it's a very strong metal that you can use in things that won't, battery acid falls in it. It's not going to worry about it. It's not going to damage it at all. So it is a transition metal, which means it's in the middle of the periodic table. And so this kind of means it bonds easily with other elements.
Yeah.
So which is an important aspect of it. It is one of the most dense.
Yes.
It is
Yes,
21
yes,
times
yes.
denser than water, or more dense than water. I guess denser is probably not a word. 21 times more
Denser.
dense than water. I've been having discussions that funner is not a word with Benjamin. My
I was
son.
like, I hope this is with your 5-year-old, not
Yes.
with your college students.
Well, you never know. But this one in particular was with my son. So it is, yeah. So it's super, and water has a very high density compared to other things, that's a similar type compound. So the fact that it is 21 times more dense than water is pretty impressive. So very, 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 very heavy mass per unit volume. And so one of the big things that it was used for a while was the international standard for measuring the kilogram.
Yes.
So in the 1880s, they had these cylinders that were distributed around the world, and those were the basis for what a kilogram was.
Kilo 18. Which is mixed with iridium, right?
I think so. It was
Yeah.
something like
It's
one
mixed
of those.
with iridium.
Yeah,
It's mostly platinum.
yeah.
It's kept in France.
Oh, the one of the
original
ones.
Kilo
Yeah,
18.
because they changed it. I think we already talked about that too. They changed that one too. It was one of the.
It might have been iridium and osmium.
No, they changed it to something like laser thing. I don't remember.
Oh, that's right. They changed
Yeah.
it to a laser.
Yeah, it was some other way to do it instead of this.
Wait,
Crazy.
maybe a laser used with neon?
Beep, beep, beep. Maybe.
We talked about
We talked about it. I
Lasers.
don't remember it.
lasers.
It was a while ago.
Yeah.
Like
a year.
It could happen yesterday, and I wouldn't remember it. Let's be honest.
True that, girl. I don't remember diddly squat.
What? Let's see. In the 1800s, 2 guys, Walston and Tennant, purified platinum from platinum ore using the aqua reagia, which we've talked about quite a bit in other ones, and they used a similar technique that's still used today to purify it,
Oh.
which is kind of cool. They haven't found a better way to do it yet. If you combine it with cobalt, you get very strong permanent magnets. So they use those
I like
for
magnets.
medical instruments, motors, watches, and a lot of other things.
I want to just talk about real quick. There's a long story in Periodic Tales, but I'm not going to read it because
It's too long. Too long, didn't read.
boring. No, just kidding. I love
Just a
you,
little bit
Hugh
long.
Aldersley Williams. But to give you an idea of how heavy platinum can
The
be,
density. So heavy.
a 10 centimeter cube. So think about how big a 10 centimeter cube would be. So it's about
I think it's
2.5 centimeters per
So
inch.
it's, 2.5 centimeter.
So that's a
2.5
4
centimeters per inch.
inch cube, right?
2, 3, yes.
So
Yeah,
a
so basically-
4-inch cube, 4 inches by 4 inches by 4 inches. Do you know how much it weighs?
Here or on the moon, because the density will be different.
Here.
Okay, here. 100 pounds.
Well, no.
Oh.
It's 23 kilograms, which is 50 pounds.
Oh, that wasn't too long.
So the
That's
end of
this
the
tiny little cube is 50 pounds.
the
That's
end
nuts.
of the
My
story.
6-year-old weighs 50 pounds.
This guy thought that he had fastened this little cube to the table because he couldn't pick it up. Well, because
Well, yeah, you would think,
with your two fingers,
You'd
with
be
your
like,
thumb and your,
Yeah.
you're like,
So I think it was like glued to the table.
He's like, you have fastened it to the table. And he's like, no, I have not. This is why I can't work with this metal.
It's too terrible heavy.
It's too terrible.
So imagine if you had like a solid platinum ring or something. Like, it wouldn't be that heavy, but it would be. You would feel
finger
it.
would
You'd
fall
feel
off.
the weight. Yeah, you'd like disjoint. Your
One arm would be like weighed down.
Why are you walking so funny? Oh, my arm.
Why are you walking like hunched like the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Well, that's because my ring is pure platinum.
Speaking of jewelry,
Yes.
the 30% of the uses is jewelry. The Hope Diamond, which is I believe that biggest one,
Mm-hmm.
and many of Elizabeth Taylor's jewelry, because of course she's like the
Jewelry
jewelry queen, are all set in platinum.
Of course
Mhm.
they are.
Let's see. They do so. The catalyst value of it is used in the production of several things. I don't know what that word is, but it ends up in stuff like fertilizers, plastics, gasoline, fuel cells, things like that. So this is quite a wide range of use of platinum as a catalyst.
I mean, we really only think of it as jewelry.
Right.
Which it has an important,
Important aspect to it, but
yeah, it
There's a lot
has
more
an
useful-
important representation in jewelry, but there's actually, more useful things besides like, look at my pretty ring.
hey, bling bling bling. Oh, the guy, 1844, Michel Perron, an Italian chemist, accidentally discovered the anti-neoplastic properties, which basically prohibits tumor growth. So for the use in cancers, in 1844, it didn't happen until 1971, where the first human cancer patient was treated with those platinum-containing drugs.
Because they probably didn't know what exactly he discovered.
But again, what's the other thing about science is so interesting is that some of the things that we find were not found on purpose.
Right.
Like you're just like that's what a lot of people have issues with science of like, well, why is that? Why are you getting funding for that? Or why are you doing this? It doesn't have any, exact, like this is what this is going to be used for.
Right.
But so many of the things by just doing science and researching and looking at something and tying all the different things,
Yes.
you end up finding this amazing property.
Accidents are what cause discoveries.
Yeah.
I mean, people are looking for answers as well, but then there's just people that just stumble across them because they're looking for a different thing.
Right. And like that's why I say yes and no are both valid things in science, and sometimes we learn more from the no's than we do from the yeses.
Yes. I have two more cultural
Okay, cool.
references.
Because I don't have anything else.
All right, so 1940, Colombia, the country of Colombia.
Oh.
They made a 20 centavos stamp in honor of its platinum production. So it was such a
big
popular
platinum production.
part of their culture that a lot of times, they do stamps that like represent like people or animals or, money. Not money, it's stamps. They do that with money too in other
That's
countries.
true.
Sorry. Again, this has been brought to you by Caffeine. Caffeine, please sponsor
Caffeine
us.
and babies.
Literally sponsor me so that I can function. Because I can't. Oh, my baby's smiling.
So they put it on their stamp because it was such a big part of their society.
Yes. Now, the other thing we haven't talked about, which I'm sure there's, at least one listener going, what about like when an album goes
Platinum.
platinum?
Right.
So-
Was it just because it goes beyond the gold, right?
Well,
Or the cultural significance of it?
So,
Or not.
allow me to explain.
Okay.
Again, I'm reading from the book.
The periodic tales.
Because I looked it up, but then he has it, I underlined the important parts and skipped a bunch of the fluff because he likes to go on tangents a little bit.
Which is good.
Which is great, but
sometimes it's a little bit.
my note taking, from like college is so good that I could just pull out the important things.
Mm-hmm.
So gold discs used to be a way of congratulating artists that when they sold 1 million copies of a song. Harry Como was the first
Okay.
international artist to strike gold. I did air quotes again. You should be able to tell by the fact I go wah
Wah,
wah.
wah.
But But then with record sales, gold discs became too common. Like all of a sudden, everybody's getting a gold.
Right. So
you
they'd have
know?
another level.
So then the tier of platinum discs began in 1976. No, 19. Yes. Oh, I said that name. Oh, I said that number right.
Name, number, whatever.
My eye just twitched. I'm sorry. Cindy looked at me like I was crazy. But so they decided to go like, well, here's a higher tier. But under today's rules, they brought it down so that albums that go gold are at 500,000 units.
Okay.
And then platinum's at 1 million, even though it used to be platinum was 1 million.
Oh.
And then they just changed it. But
So
you
it's
know,
easier to get a platinum now than it was when they first did it?
it's easier to get a gold.
Oh, okay.
But there's also more
see.
music available.
Right.
So, and there's more avenues of hearing music.
Yeah, I wonder how that changes because now some people don't even put
out
records
albums.
out, right? You just put it
Yeah.
online and
Or
it's
they
free
just
or
put
whatever.
like a song at a time.
Right.
And then don't really release an album.
Interesting.
Because then there's hits.
Right, because you have the singles and then you have the
There's
albums.
singles and then there's albums.
Did
I
you
don't
know
if
that
it's the
Kiefer
same.
Sutherland is a country's music star now?
What?
Yeah. Kiefer Sutherland. I
What?
did not know this. Yeah, he has 2 albums out and he tours.
I learn something new every day.
It's from my People magazine.
Oh. You and your People magazine.
Hey, some interesting stuff.
I love
man.
it. I love it. I love that the scientist is like, I read in People magazine.
Everybody has the same reaction when they say that I have it. And they're just like, really?
You know what?
Cindy?"
I love it.
It's just fun. And
It humanizes you,
that's
Cindy.
right. Everybody's, I like people. Not just science. I like to learn about things.
You know, there are some scientists that are like, I hate people. I'd
Oh,
rather
yes.
just be with my animals
This
or
is
my
true.
plants or my whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you like people.
I do. I mean, probably animals
Some
a little bit
people.
more, but yes, I do like
You're
people.
like, I do. Not as much as animals.
Animals.
But
are-
at least I don't hate people.
yeah.
Like, so,
that's-
like
some people really hate
yeah.
other people. So there's that.
But American Express also kind of followed suit. They went from having their gold charge card to their
Yeah, to
platinum
platinum.
charge card in
Now it's-
1984.
Now it's clear card. That's one we have. It's clear instead of.
Is it
platinum.
called the clear
I
card?
don't know what it's called.
Pull it out of your
I'll
wallet.
pull it out
Let's
right
check it
now
out.
because but everybody likes it because like, oh, it's like see through. Like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Although
But-
maybe it is because it has a platinum strip on the top.
But
Let's see.
basically, they're saying platinum is status is more like a more complicated snobbery. Basically, they had to pick some because gold became too common, so they
Right.
had to go out with.
Well, then at what
Think of
point when does
something else.
when does platinum become too common? Or does
Then
it?
they'll do iridium
Ooh, right.
because it's rare.
Super rare.
What's iridium, you say? Go listen to
Check iridium.
our episode on iridium and osmium.
Nice callback.
Available now.
With all the other episodes, you
Yeah.
can check it out.
So I think that's all we have for platinum.
That is a platinum. So
Are we
yeah,
get-
remember it's part of the platinum group. We just talked about that last time, and so this is the final one of the group, the bigger.
Oh,
of all of them.
and where can we get most of our platinum from? 80% of it. Can you guess which country?
I'm looking at my notes. I usually write that down, but I do not know.
South
America.
country.
Oh. Continent, country, whatever. I've been talking about plate tectonics in my oceanography class, so I'm thinking about continents. South Korea.
Oh dear. You need to go back and listen to our episodes where the other platinums have been mined
Yeah,
from
I told you I don't remember.
South Africa.
Africa.
80% of our platinum now comes
Oh.
from South Africa. I love that you said South America.
Well, because we're talking about South America the whole time here.
You know,
with them,
it just
it was known in South America before.
It cracks me up
Yeah.
because usually I'm the one that looks like an idiot on this podcast.
Hey, we can all be equal idiot opportunity.
opportunist. Yes. Guess who sounds like the smart one today? Except earlier when I couldn't say words. But
So if you want to hear something not saying words well, the Joe Biden, he put out for being president now, Democratic Party, and he has a speech, and all the way through there's like little snippets, and he's just like he can't say words. He messes up, and they're all like, I was watching the Daily Show, and Trevor Noah's like, you gotta. The one thing is that everybody thinks you're old and that your mind's not made out with it. So you can't like start off with being like, I got the words.
well,
I mean, it's a low
people
bar
have
right
gotten
now.
elected.
I
that
know
did
there's
the
a low
same-
bar right now. So
Yeah,
with words. There was at the
This is not a political podcast.
no. But at the ice cream shop, they had one of the places that has ice cream. They made their own names.
That's
for
usually
the ice
what's in
cream.
an ice cream
I know.
shop.
Well, technically it's a going on boat tours, but they have ice cream there.
Oh, right.
So I was going. But they had the coffee one, and it was like mocha cafefe. And I was like, that is amazing. And even though I don't like coffee, I would totally buy one just because you named it that.
I want some cafefe.
Cafefe. It was awesome.
So, anyways,
yeah.
platinum.
Platinum.
Its representation of prestige, value, and power has kept going through the ages. It took us forever. By us, I mean Europeans, because obviously that's like where most of the text is from and most of the scientists.
Right.
Took us forever to find it and realize that it's
what it is, right? Be able to isolate it.
it's just immature gold. Throw it back in the river.
It's silly.
So
And
that's
be careful.
platinum.
The rule there is be careful what you throw out. It may be gold,
Yeah.
which is why I never throw anything
Spanish
out. Which is why I have too much stuff in my house.
conquistadors didn't value it
Yeah.
like gold or silver. They just threw it back in the river.
Well, it's one of those things because it's like, well, we don't know what it is, so
It
and
must
we
be
know that and we
trash.
know that these are good, so we're gonna go with that until we have a reason to need to find out something better, right? Which is kind of sad.
I would have been there like scooping it up and be like, I bet this is
bet
worth
it's
something
gonna
someday. But no, I wouldn't have. I'd probably be like a mother of 27 children.
Truth.
Because
That's all you.
Yeah.
That's all you could do.
Culture.
Birth control is not a thing there,
well, just realistically, I would have gotten married at like probably 12
right?
in South America.
Oh, and you have 20 kids, and maybe 3 of them survive to adulthood. So
True.
there you go.
Oh, sad.
Yeah.
Anyways, platinum. That is our episode on platinum. That's all we're gonna get into.
Charlie just gave us a little smudgy smile.
Aw,
He said that was a great job.
my little squishy.
Okay.
Okay, so Cindy, where can they reach you if they want to?
So they can check out more marine mammal stuff by
Mhm.
my Pacific Mammal Research on Facebook and Instagram and our website,
Mm-hmm.
www.pacmam.org, Pacmam.
Pack ma'am.
Pacmam.
Like packet
I-
ma'am.
I get a lot of Pac Mom because
You're a mom.
because I am a mom, but the font on our sign, you
Ah.
can't, it's a lowercase a, so the two little up and down on
You
the
should have
line
done
doesn't-
those weird typey A's.
Yeah. But it's kind of because then it makes actually people ask, and then
Yeah. Start a conversation.
yeah, and then like, oh, is it Pac Mom? I'm like, well, I am a mom, but it's actually Pac Man.
If you have,
about you?
well, first off, if you want to contact us in
Mm.
our podcast, we have Elemental Fun Podcast at gmail.com.
Yep.
Questions, comments, concerns. If you have an update, if you have a down date, if you
Have any kind of date.
tell us about it.
Sure.
We will relate it somehow to science. We'll be like,
do
that
that.
was a salty date. Salt.
Ooh, salt, here you go.
chloride, huh? You can contact me on Instagram at runmammarun50x50. That's 50x50. I mostly write about running, but I also put stuff about the podcast. I just said podcast. And I'm now considering myself an earth warrior, so I'm doing a lot more
Earthy things.
I'm really trying to get into that and promote that because we are in dire need to save this planet.
Yes, we are.
And I want to be a little more vocal about it.
Nice. I
So
like it.
I'm doing like Earth Day challenges. My daughter and I and my husband and my baby. He didn't pick up garbage, but he was in the front pack.
He was there.
We went and picked up garbage along our road on Earth Day.
I want to do that with Benjamin more too.
It was really
Yeah.
fun. And people riding their bikes were like, thank you. And one guy was walking his dog, and my almost 4-year-old was like, we're picking up garbage for Earth Day. And he was like, huh? And I was like, yeah, you should do it too, buddy.
Come on,
There's a
join us.
lot of garbage. I mean,
There is just around the neighborhood. It's nuts, and I get right because I need to I want to get one of those grabbers because sometimes I don't like.
We all
picking
had
things up with gloves or something.
We all
Yeah.
used garden gloves.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Mhm.
I should put those. Yeah.
Like those, but like thick leather, also thick leather ones, so that
Yeah.
like you can pick up metal and not
Right. Not
or
worry about
glass
it.
and not
That's
worry
a good
about it.
idea. I want to get like a little kit and have in my car so that when
Yes.
we're out we can just grab those and do
Yeah.
that because everybody little helps so it doesn't
Yeah.
get into the old
And
ones.
now that I have been okayed to run from my
Woo-hoo!
doctor postpartum, we can go plogging sometime.
Oh yeah, we should do that
Plogging, by the way, is the
Picking up
Swedish
trash.
word for picking up garbage is
while you're running.
blah 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 blah. I don't know what it is, but it starts with PLO, and then they took that word and jogging and made plogging. So you basically go jogging and you pick up trash. I have done it before. I found a lot of stuff, but I realized I can't pick up every cigarette butt because I was literally bending over.
You're not actually jogging.
step.
You're just picking up
I
trash.
basically was doing burpees on the road, but without kicking my feet back.
Right. We could just bring a broom. We could sweep it
Sweep
along
as
we
we're
go.
running, and
Yeah.
then like stop at the
Be
corner.
Swagging.
Swagging.
That's kind of cool.
Sounds great.
Yeah. No, I'm up for that. And then my heel's been feeling better. And I've run 2 weeks for the last 2 weeks, mile and a half each. And it's been
Excellent.
good. So as long as I,
We got to
it
get
easy.
trained for our next.
yeah,
We have our
ease up to it. The half marathon in August.
yeah in August. The look Cindy just gave me, I was like, oh my god.
Just hope I can do it without messing up my feet again.
Yeah, well, we
We'll
could
find
go a little slower in our training process.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Run again this weekend.
Mhm.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
So
you can find us all of those places.
yes, we still haven't gotten our podcast on anything but
iTunes
and YouTube.
Yep.
But you know what? I am not working, so I can try in the next.
She
week.
will be working again. She's a teacher, so she's not working and she has the baby.
I'm on
Just saying.
maternity leave.
Yes. And then
so and then summer, which is like an extra bonus maternity leave.
Woo-hoo, good timing for baby. Good job with that.
That was planned.
I know. But it still happened correctly because
Yes.
sometimes you can plan it and it doesn't happen.
That is very true.
Yeah.
But my family is extremely fertile.
I look at you. You're pregnant. Go.
Pretty much. So I will look into getting us maybe on Google Play and Spotify.
Do they still have Google Play? Because they took down Google
Oh.
Plus. I don't know what
I don't
Google's
know.
doing.
I don't
Anyway.
know. I'll see if there's still Google Play. If
Probably
not,
is that.
for
They just-
sure Spotify.
I think Google realized that there were many social media platforms and Google Plus just wasn't one of the top ones.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
this is different because this
Yeah,
is like a music
exactly.
because like people Android users can't use.
You know, they just still do because I still have the app on my phone. They still have Google Play.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
So
I digress.
anyways, thank you so much for listening. We will be probably exploring.
Fluorine.
What is that group? The group that's fluorine,
the,
sodium.
Oh, why'd you ask me this?
I don't know. 'Cause
Is
you
it
know
the
chemistry?
halogens?
I think it's halogens.
Yeah. Because fluorine, chlorine, bromine, all the.
Yeah, I
Means-
think we might go into
That's
those.
a good idea
next.
because those all have similar
Properties.
And fluorine's just the most exciting one, and then we'll go down from there.
Oh, there's some cool
There's some
cultural stuff.
Explosive. Literally.
So listen in on our next podcast where we will have an explosively good time.
With fluorine.
So thank you so much for listening. Explore, learn, and hopefully you'll be hearing from us again soon.
Oh, you said that right. Good job.
did.
Hey! It only took us like 15 episodes.
Doesn't matter.
That's
We
fine.
got it.
We got it.
Booyah.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
I don't know. I have it plugged in somewhere.
I thought you
That's all
plugged
I
it.
need. I just need to plug it somewhere, right? It doesn't have to be in the computer.
Plugged it in your butt?
Well, that's a different place.
Awkward.